Hello, welcome to the video. I'm Andy, I'm a games maker here at timeQuest, and this video is about everything you need to know to get prepared to play our Print+Cut+Escape kids game, timeQuest. Now, it's worth noting that most of what I'm going to cover is featured on one of the sheets early on in the printout, the index and instructions page. So if you prefer to read it, you can just go through that, but otherwise stick with me and we'll talk you through everything you're going to need to do. Plus there'll be some tips if you're playing it remotely, and also we're going to go through all of the pieces in detail of what you actually need to cut out. Okay, so in order to play the game, to prepare, these are the things you're going to need. Firstly, you will need a printed copy of the game. This is the fancy colour version, which we can post to you. There is also a black and white version available, which you can download and then print for yourselves at home. You're going to need to have that. You'll need some scissors. You'll also need a laptop or a tablet or something that you can access the game interface on. And then when you're preparing, you might want to have some folders or envelopes or something to keep the different sections together. And you might want a little bit of sellotape to stick one of the things together. You don't need those, but they're nice to have. So the first thing you'll do is cut everything out, and on the second page you'll find there's an index which takes you through all the pieces, how many there are, what you should expect to find. So that's going to take you through it nice and clearly. I do recommend that you cut out the pieces in advance. It can take a little while to do it, so make sure you're nice and prepared when you start the game. Then when you're ready to play, you'll have a link in your emails you can click that will take you through to the game interface. And then just before you start playing, we recommend that you, as a team, you read through this page here. That's basically the cast list. That will take you through all the characters so you know what to expect. Then there'll be a video which you can click and watch, and then finally you'll be able to click begin mission and start playing. And now, in terms of what you can expect, there'll be different screens come up with information about what you need to find and places to enter it. And as you progress through the missions, you'll use different chapters, different props, and there'll also be some more animations taking you through the story. It's also worth noting that at the bottom of the game screen, there'll be a little link where you can find some help. And a pro tip, the first bit of help is just a picture that shows you what pieces you need. So if you're unsure at any point which particular paper pieces you need for that puzzle, you can always check that very easily, and it doesn't count as cheating. A few extra things for anyone who's playing it over the internet. So if you've got multiple parties or people in different locations, you will all need a printed copy of the game, and you will also all need obviously a tablet or a laptop or something so you can access the game screen. You will all see the same screen, so you'll all click the same link. But what you'll find is that if someone enters the right answer, they'll jump to the next screen, and then you'll all get a little pop-up box saying, oh, you can move to the next screen, well done. So just click that, and you'll all be able to progress through the mission together. We also recommend, if at all possible, have 2 screens, because we found that's really handy, because you can have your video call, and then you can have the game screen itself. And it's a lot easier. Alright, so that's preparation done. I am going to talk a little bit more, and it's going to be all about playing the game with or for kids. So if you're just playing it as a bunch of adults, then you're done. You can go now, thank you. But if you are playing it with kids, a few thoughts we've had, we can sort of see it going one of 2 ways. One is you just play it as a mixed team of kids and adults, and that's perfectly cool. Just play it like a normal game, and all we would say is try and give them their moment to shine. Make sure try and encourage them to take the lead and do everything they can, because we think this is a good pitch level for them. However, if you want to make it sort of more of an event, maybe it's like a party and you've got loads of kids and you want to make it more for them, a couple of things we thought of. One is, if they're old enough, make the cutting out part of the fun, get them all together, chop stuff out if you think they can cut out accurately and safely, otherwise don't do that. Another thing you could do if you want to make it sort of a bigger thing, a bit more active, is you could hide the pieces, maybe like hide chapter by chapter, different rooms of your house, and then every time you get to a new bit they could run off and do a treasure hunt. I don't know, go wild. Just a little food for thought there. And then the final thing, if you've got, say, like a party of kids, and you want it to be just them, and you're really stepping back and letting them do it all themselves, then you might want to basically do my job and know what's going on in advance, so you can give them little clues here and there. So either play it yourself first before they get a go, haha, or if you don't have time for that, I'm actually going to go through all the solutions now, so you could know the answers and just help them out. So if you don't want to know the answers, you should stop watching the video now, because massive spoilers are coming. Alright, here we are. Me and Mr. Q ready to play the game. So we have all of the sections of the game laid out before us. So we have the introductory pages that we already covered. Then we have the prologue. And we have chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. So we're going to go through all of those now in some detail, and spoilers do abound. So if you want to play the game, do not watch the rest of the video. Alright, so this is the prologue, the first little bit. So what you're going to need is to find the location and date they need to travel to. That will make more sense when you watch the story. But you've got this is the bit you might want sticky tape for when you stick the two pieces of the time machine together. And then you have these time measuring crystals. So the way that you solve this one is you take your time measuring crystals. They all have different lengthed sides, each marked by a Roman numeral 1 to 12. And then you're going to use the first bit, which is the smallest side. And if you put it against the smallest letter, it matches up. So you know that your first letter is a B. Your second smallest side is going to match up with your second smallest letter, and that's an A, and so forth. 3 all the way up to 12. Let us get bigger every time. That's going to keep you Babylon 482 BC. Alright, so this is chapter 1. So this is going to have 3 stages. Firstly, you've got these 4 big pieces, these big puzzle pieces that the team will need to assemble into one image. And then you've got all these smaller pieces which will need to be put into place. So as if by magic, ta-da! Oh, look at that! They've all suddenly got into place. What sorcery! So you put all the pieces in place over the other images. Here's the final example. So you see he's looking quite upset. Now he's really happy. So as you can see, we've got a symbol here in the sun, little symbol there. And as you follow the green line around, you will see other little symbols. Look, there is one cheeky one there. And that brings us to step 3 of the puzzle, which involves these 2 things. So you will need to find one of your symbols. Here's the one here that is in the sun. And you put the wheel in the middle, the finger pointing to it. And then here, in this little cutout bit, you will see the letter T. And so if you do that over and over again, rotate it, point it at the right symbol, you will get a sentence, and that sentence is, time is an illusion. That is the solution to chapter 1. There we go. Next chapter. Moving on. Okay, so here we are for chapter 2. Chapter 2's got 2 sections. This one's got a lot going on, so come on in, get involved. The first thing the team's going to need to do, they're going to need to find the missing pieces of Big Ben, which are hidden in these blueprints. So you can see in the picture here, you've got the spire upside down, you've got the clock face, you've got the bell, you've got the hour hand, and then hiding up here, you've got the minute hand. Once you've found those, then these columns and rows become important. So you find the symbol, the missing piece, you follow it up. Here is a symbol, and you can recreate that symbol using this little decoder and this reconstruction app. So you put it like that, you've made the symbol, it's got a line pointing to the P. P is your first letter. We know it's the first letter because these 5 things all have arrows leading around, except that there isn't one there. So that is the start and that's the end. So P's first, do that 5 times in total, and you will have the word prime. And then it's time for part 2. Here it is. You've got 2 pieces. Firstly, you've got all these various sweets, and they've all got a little thing attached to them with some dots. So they are your number order, 1, 2, 3, etc. Then you come over here. All these letters are associated with different sweets. So number 1 is your gummy bear. Here is gummy bear. Here is an M. It's really simple. You follow the numbers, put the letters in order, and you get the word meridian. And the solution for chapter 2 is prime meridian. Okay, here we are, chapter 3, final chapter. Once again, it's in 2 parts. So we start with this piece, the timeline distortion tracking device. You can see it's got 8 little screen sort of things. So you take these 8 pieces that conveniently fit into these gaps. There you go. So that's what that's going to look like when complete. Now you might note these 4 pairs of things here look quite similar and match up with these 4 pairs of little number boxes. And these kids here are all pointing at different sides. So, with a little bit of Mr. Q magic, ta-da! So, as you can see here, we've taken all the yellow triangles and we've put them on the sides that the kids are pointing to. So here you go, she's pointing this side, the triangle is there. And that has given us 2145. When you put that into the interface on the computer, you'll see that that will give you the answer of Tokyo, which is the final answer to the chapter. So there we go. That's how you solve them all. Of course, you still don't know the story, so you'll still have to watch it to find out what happens. And there we go. I hope that's helpful. I hope you are able to give a really good experience for the kids playing it. Or whoever's playing it. Maybe you're doing this with manuals. I don't know. I don't really mind. Do what you want. Have a good time. Thank you very much for watching the video and buying the game. Bye. Have an excellent game, agents.